We are back with Jackie Tyler.
Ooh, we've been discussing.
And we've been breaking bread and getting it in. This has been a crazy interview. I mean, I have enjoyed myself with my cousin and sitting and learning. So we're going to actually go into the segment, Is There a Hell? Who are going? And do you know anybody that's already there? Because half of your members probably there. But see, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because half of them didn't know nothing in the first place. And you wasn't teaching them because you hellish. So, I mean, they can only stand up to to what's being in front of them. So help me out.
The views expressed by him are not necessarily.
They my views. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny, but it's not funny because we have members that have been on church auxiliaries for 40 years and have no real idea of what the gospel is, and they died in church and went to hell. We know this. We know this because it's the lifestyle. The lifestyle. The lifestyle tells it.
Okay, well, okay, that is your opinion. Let me just answer this question. Is there a hell? Yes, I believe that there is a hell. I believe a lot of people are living through their hell on earth. Now, a lot of folks will say that, yeah, hell is a place and where it can go and things of that nature. But Scripture also reminds us that Jesus conquered hell and death at his resurrection. He took captivity captive, and he went to hell and snatched the keys from the devil.
That's that would be 1 Peter 3:19.
That's right. So is there a hell? I believe, for me, in my opinion, hell is when you're separated from God. Which for some folks they say, well, that's sin. Well, okay. But I believe that you're going through hell because you separated from God. You've broken covenant with God. So you're no longer reconciled and in relationship. So therefore, you're going through and you are experiencing your hell. Now, is there spiritual wickedness? Yes. Is Satan real? And is his devices real? Yes, I believe that. But then too, on top of that, I believe that a lot of times things are just really manifested of what we do. So that's how I would answer that hell question. Now, is there people going? I can't say that. Really, I cannot. I cannot. I would say we'd be surprised who'd be there. If there are some people going to hell, we would be very surprised because this is how I see the scenario. This is how I see the scenario. A person could never step foot up in a church, never, for whatever reason, and would have more respect and reverence and fear and love of God than somebody who's been in there since Jesus was of age and living their life and been on all the auxiliaries. And that person who quote unquote is the sinner, who's quote unquote who's the worldly person living out here in your kind of life while they're smoking a blunt and drinking a hen, but yet still they'll probably be the first ones to beat to heaven before some of the good Christians will. And the reason why is because they still have a love and respect and reverence and relationship with God that somehow most of us church folks miss the mark. So if there are those that are separated from God, I believe that that is the hell that they're going through until it takes somebody who is called to reach out to that person, again, to reiterate the good news, to let them know that they can be saved or that they're already saved, but we just have to remind them that, you know, you're still a child of God, to reconcile them back into the kingdom. That way they do not have to experience the hell that they're going through. Does that make any sense?
That makes total sense. I'm reminded of a couple of things. First, separation from God. I agree with you. You know, I agree with you that it can be, Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. But I'm reminded of the scripture that says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. And then there's another scripture that says that even in hell, I am there.
Right!
So truly, where is the separation? It's a spiritual separation.
Thank you.
It is a spiritual separation. Instead of saying, you know, that you're here and you're serving the Lord with all your heart, that is far from you if you are a sinner. If you are a sinner, that's far from you because you're not doing the actions that God is requiring. So that's what I believe. I think it is a spiritual separation. Do I believe that hell exists and there is eternal torment? Yes, I do. That the body is going to burn? Yes, I do.
That's what we were taught when we were younger.
Yes.
So yes, and that's a lot of reasons why growing up we got saved. We got saved to avoid that burning. That remember the play that Big Mama did with us, and we were all in it, and there was a hell scene, and everybody was burning in hell, fire and brimstone. That was the reason. Now that I think about it, why at the age of 12. I went ahead, I gave my life to God, and then of course I got baptized. Because I wanted to avoid hell. The fear of God. They said Scripture reminds us that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So somehow I knew growing up, and this is kind of like with history and things of that nature, when we were hearing, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. In my young life, because, you know, as children, we were seen and not heard. And then we were also taught you could not question God. No, you better not question God. But I had in my mind, I said, there had to be something better than this. God had to be something better than this grumpy old man sitting on the throne looking to condemn me. So I better toe the straight and narrow. That is why with churches and doctrine and creed, we set up this checklist for people to try to abide by these rules and regulations in order to stay saved and in salvation. So when you say that I cannot get saved and receive salvation because I have not spoken tongue, then that is what people will turn off from being in the brick and mortar of church. Religion. See, there is a difference.
You can go there. Religion.
There is a difference between religion and religion. Teaches us that we have to be in a constant total state of fear, hating our bodies, hating ourselves, really hating who we are in order so we can get ourselves right in God. Religion almost come across as it has to be performance-based. If I perform and if I do what I'm supposed to do according to the bylaws and the doctrine of what the church then told me, then I can get into heaven.
And you know, that's funny that you say that, because we know several churches that are working out their own salvation. And I don't mean working out your soul salvation. I mean trying to work to get in. And that is not what
it. What relationship with God is that relationship is one-on-one. That relationship is intimate, is personal, is real, because that means I can go to God in my truth. I can go to God as I am. So when you are, if you're gay, straight, black, white, dumb, crippled, and crazy, you can still go to God as who you are, because in the end we're still created in God's image. God went into God's self and made this beautiful, diverse humanity that we have.
See, we're going to stop right there, and we're going to open up our next floor for what is inclusion. Be back with you in a minute.